Greetings, everyone, and welcome to week 10. And I wanted to just give you an overview of this week because project 3 is the largest, most complex writing assignment you had this semester. So this week, a couple of things. I moved the initial posts for chapter 8 till Sunday just to give you a little more time. I also really strongly encourage you to look through, like preview the information literacy modules and review all of the content that comes with mini lessons. Now there are some new mini lessons this week. I'm not saying rush through all of them right now by Tuesday or anything, but start to look at those mini lessons. And I'll say a little bit more about that as I scroll through this page. All right, so here we are with week 10 and what's due this week. You have a little flexibility. I took away the requirement for you to respond to each other in the discussion boards for the chapter readings because I want to make sure that you are getting that content and you are responding. Any activity that you do between now and when project 3 is due, make sure that you direct it to your paper and the subject or topic that you're going to write about. So if you come across an activity, say, and it says, hey, read this chapter and analyze it, do that, but then apply that technique immediately to a reading for your own research paper. Okay, so I wanted to get that out of the way. Just everything applied to, hey, I am writing about dinosaurs. If that's what you're writing about, which you're not, but if that were, apply every activity to your writing goal for this assignment. The writing techniques and activities are meant for you to apply to the project that you're working on. All right, so Tuesday, nothing is due, but continue working on the informative writing assignment. So I call this paper informative writing. You saw in chapter 7, it talked about 2 forms of arguments. I want to let you know you are not asked to choose one of those 2 forms of arguments in chapter 7. Chapter 7 just says, hey, here are 2 kinds of argument. There are a number of different types of arguments. Informing people is an argument in and of itself. So an argument is just a well-reasoned train of thought that you present, usually with research, because we aren't the experts on everything. So we use that research to communicate with other people, sometimes to convince, persuade, just inform. All these things are arguments, well-reasoned ideas with support. So that's what you're doing starting this week. I didn't get a whole bunch of questions about this assignment. I think just because it's a lot. So that's why I'm making this week's video. And I'll have a couple other videos that I'm going to post. So I ask you to use this answer key and go back to that early assignment that you did, the course bibliography task, where I had you write a bibliography of course-related sources. That early assignment was meant to prep you for this project here. You're asked to do a bibliography, and you're also asked to do an annotated bibliography, and that was to prep you for what's coming. So in this particular project, you have to do an annotated bibliography. And what I want you to do is just to go back and look at the bibliography. This is the answer key for the APA and MLA that I gave you, and compare that to what you submitted. And you can post questions or comments about that in the virtual office. I don't have a deadline. I'm just suggesting Thursday is when you should go back and review and start to ask questions about how to put together some differences between this answer guide and what you submitted. I'm calling this an answer guide because depending on what version of APA MLA style guides you use, your citation formats will not likely match mine 100%. So that's another area for conversation. This here, the mini lessons in the glossary, these are super important. To encourage you to use the mini lessons in the glossary, I'm giving you the opportunity to get bonus points for them. Just reminding you that bonus points are optional. You do not have to complete them, but they usually come with deadlines. So if you want bonus points for the mini lessons, my encouragement for you to use them for working through this research-based writing project that you have until November 22nd to submit any bonus points for these. So I won't be looking for them as a deadline every week, but I strongly encourage you to complete them every week. I'm gonna click on the mini lesson just really quickly, and it takes you into the glossary, which you now have available, and you want to just click on M because that'll take you to the area where mini lessons are listed, and glossary is listed alphabetically. So that's just a quick way of how to get to that information, and I will post a separate video about the mini lessons in and of themselves. All right, so Thursday, so you see this week is just about using the material and getting started with the research for your essay that you're writing. Now by Sunday, I moved the initial post for chapter 8 to Sunday. This is also because I want to encourage you to look at the mini lessons. Many of the mini lessons that are in the bonus point section are geared towards doing research. So they correspond with the content in chapter 8 and 9. So you want to just start looking at them. The information literacy toolkit. I'm going to need to post an additional video about this too. But this video, this toolkit, this is the assignment that all students across EN 101 courses, they have to complete these 8 modules. And these modules are designed to help you think through research-based writing. They're kind of clunky. I've done a lot to try to work them into, make them relevant. They are relevant for what you're doing, but they may not seem to be just the greatest possible fit ever. But they correspond, each of the 8 modules are helpful for this particular writing project. And there are many lessons that help you think through the content of doing research in the modules. So they kind of work together. And then this week I have a look ahead. You have the weeks coming up to when this project is due. And remember, if you see a mark reviewed item, please click mark review. But I've also put a look ahead to the bonus point opportunities that go with the ILT, or the Information Literacy Toolkit responses. And that is, again, to encourage you to use all of the content to help you work through creating this research-based writing, this informative essay. So this is just a look ahead. And so you know that you need to complete them by November 22nd. So that's up to you when you want to complete them. I kind of have them all grouped together. And this is the area where I said the mini lessons correspond with some of the modules. And so I've done my best to group them together to give you an idea for how to look at the modules, the mini lessons, and this corresponds with everything, the readings that you're assigned from the empowered text. And I've also included an example of a reflective response. As far as bonus points go, you're gonna have several opportunities to get bonus points. And one of the things I just want people to remember is that you want to make sure you're not using a bunch of filler words. You need to say something concrete and useful. It needs to be applicable to what you're doing. When you write things like, this activity was really helpful for me and I will be sure to use it as I move along, that really doesn't say anything concrete. So I hope to see people during office hours, make appointments, post on Blackboard, and this is my long overview for week 10. And I will be posting additional videos because there's a lot to practice and learn in this project. So with that, I'm gonna get back to trying to get caught up on grading because it's been very fun. All right, have a good week, and I hope to hear from everyone.